Hello, YouTube world. I want to do a quick video showing you something very interesting I saw on TV the other day on the news. And they were talking about summoning demons and opening doorways to hell right there on the news on One America News. Now, the actual frame of the story, it was a story about voter fraud concerning two men. So let's go ahead and jump right into it.
The two men in Southern California are being charged with attempting to forge thousands of ballots in Los Angeles County. Here's more on that investigation into voter fraud.
Two men have been arrested in Los Angeles County, California for attempting to register over 8,000 voters who didn't exist. On Tuesday, Carlos Montenegro and Marco Arevalo pleaded not guilty to charges connected to a voter fraud case in which the men submitted voting applications for dead and completely non-existent residents of the city. County officials reported the men falsified the names, addresses, signatures, and identities of thousands in an effort to help Montenegro win the race for mayor in the city of Hawthorne. In a campaign video, Montenegro stated his nonprofit organization, named Homeless Votes Matter, was tasked with the mission of registering homeless people to vote in downtown LA, though no such organization officially exists.
I formed a nonprofit organization called Homeless Voters Matter. And in that process of that, it's a nonprofit in California, we have been able to literally walk the streets and canvass it, and we have been able to register hundreds and thousands of voters for the election, not just for the main election, but also for my election.
Montenegro and his accomplices began sending out...
Okay, so I want to point something out real quick. So this man, Carlos Montenegro, who's the subject of this video, he was running for mayor in, I think it was the city of Hawthorne in California. And he was saying that he had formed this organization to help the homeless vote, which was a complete falsehood. No such organization exists. What he was really trying to do was to rig votes and create fake, illegal, illegitimate votes so he himself could become mayor. And let's take a look and notice when this little clip of him. Pay attention how they have the soft, kind of warm, relaxing music. And he's speaking in this friendly tone, just like your next door neighbor that you can trust.
Voters formed a nonprofit organization.
Such organization officially exists.
I formed a nonprofit organization called Homeless Voters.
You can hear the soft elevator music in the background.
Matter. And in that process of that, it's a nonprofit in California, we have been able to literally walk the streets and canvass it, and we have been able to register hundreds and thousands of voters for the election, not just for the main election, but also for my election.
Montenegro and his...
So he says, you know, also for my election, that was why the whole point of why he's doing this is to try to rig votes to make himself mayor. Something I want to point out, you know, why I mentioned that clip of him with the elevator music acting like your best friend. 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verses 14 and 15, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. So wicked people that are Satanists, that are into the cult, that are into witchcraft, they're not going to come out and just tell you that's what they're doing. No, they make themselves look like good, honorable, kind people, honest people. That's what they portray themselves as, just your honest, kind, wonderful neighbor. And they do this to deceive you. And they're able to deceive most people and to gain the trust of most people through these tactics. And we're going to look into this a little bit more with Carlos Montenegro in a minute, that he's actually is an occult author and has written many satanic books. So let's play the rest of the clip.
Accomplices began sending out the voter registration applications in July and continued up until October, when election officials flagged a suspicious amount of ballots registered at the same address. The prosecutor revealed the operation was being funded by notorious street gang MS-13 in order to...
And so this is all funded by the MS-13 gang.
Place Montenegro in office so they would have an ally in the city. In addition...
So Montenegro apparently had gang affiliations with MS-13, and that he was wanting to become mayor, and basically just so the gang would have a front man to protect them. And that's really what the case is with most mayors and governors and people in politics, is they're there as front men to protect the nefarious people that are behind them, whatever word you want to use for that, Freemasons, Illuminati, whatever, mafia, all different sorts of nefarious organizations.
In addition to the corruption, Montenegro is also reported to be an occult author, publishing several books containing instructions on how to summon a demon and open a doorway to hell. The Los Angeles district in the city. In addition,
Did you hear that? Wow.
In addition to the corruption, Montenegro is also reported to be an occult author.
Montenegro is an occult author,
publishing several books containing instructions on how to summon a demon and open a doorway to hell.
Publishing several books containing information on how to summon a demon and open a doorway to hell. Wow. Let's play that again.
In addition to the corruption, Montenegro is also reported to be an occult author, publishing several books containing instructions on how to summon a demon and open a doorway to hell in the city. In addition to the corruption, Montenegro is also reported to be an occult author, publishing several books containing instructions on how to summon a demon and open a doorway to hell.
Wow, pretty incredible to hear that really on mainstream news. OAN, they don't say they're mainstream news, but I really essentially consider One America News to be mainstream news, but literally talking about summoning demons and opening doorways to hell. And, something that has gone on these last few years, we know, those of us that just do a little bit of research, where a major doorway and portal has been opened to hell is the Large Hadron Collider, the CERN LHC in Geneva, Switzerland. They said they're doing this to study the Big Bang and, to study atomic particles and all this stuff. But the true reason for it is they're trying to tear the veil between dimensions and trying to open up a portal to hell, literally, so these fallen angels can rule on Earth. And, CERN, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this, but just a really short summary about this. Excuse me there, I clicked on the wrong thing. So CERN, outside their office building, they have this large statue of Shiva. And you may have seen, if you go to YouTube, I don't want to play the video. I'm trying to not get videos blocked. They're looking for any reason. You'll see, apparently a few years ago, there was this ritual, and it was a human sacrifice outside this Shiva, this massive Shiva statue. Shiva in Hinduism is the god of destruction, and most people believe that Shiva is literally Lucifer or Satan. And a few years ago in 2016, they opened this Gotthard base tunnel in Switzerland, and they had this huge ceremony for it, which was a massive occult satanic ritual. You had 9 people, apparently construction workers, that died in the construction of the tunnel. And during this ceremony, they had this woman in the nude with her breast exposed, dressed as this angel hovering above them. Here you see we had this man, dressed as the Baphomet here and here. And they had this ceremony where they had this large video of a tunnel, and they had demons coming out of it. Very blatantly satanic stuff in Switzerland for this Gotthard base tunnel, and also for the LHC, the CERN Large Hadron Collider. This is nothing new, trying to open portals between dimensions and trying to just tear the veil between dimensions and open portals to hell for more power. That's what the Tower of Babel story was all about in the Bible in Genesis chapter 11. Let me just read here. Genesis chapter 11, verse 2, and it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one another, go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this is they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined it to do. Go to, let us go down there and confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. And so the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. Now, when I used to hear this story years ago before I'd really read the Bible, your first thought is, well, why would God do that? That's a bad thing. Why would he change the languages between people? The people having one language is a good thing. That seemed like a bad thing for God to do. But when you really read the Bible and get knowledge, you understand what they were doing was very wicked. When it says, they want to let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make a name, lest we be scattered upon the face of the whole earth. What was happening is they were literally challenging God and in warfare against God and trying to literally dethrone God. Nimrod was the king who was overseeing this in those days, and this wasn't literally a physical tower they were building up vertically. This was very similar to the Large Hadron Collider, I believe. That this literally was some kind of device that was trying to create interdimensional travel or create a portal between dimensions, where literally they were trying to go to war with God and dethrone God. And it was either in the book of Jasher or the book of Jubilees. I read several years ago. I don't remember which of those two, but it talks more about this, how Nimrod, was literally trying to create this kind of one world religion. Kind of reminds you what's going on right now with the Pope, doesn't it? And he was literally declaring war upon God and saying that he wanted to fight God and that the people of the earth would gain all the power. So this was literally like a satanic rebellion against God, and that's why God, put it down and confounded the languages. So summoning demons, opening doorways to hell, this is nothing new. So this man, Carlos Montenegro,
and in that process of that, it's a nonprofit in California, we have been
who we see presenting himself as just your friendly. We see presenting himself as just your friendly neighbor next door that wants to be your mayor and help the homeless and, help your city. This is who he is, Carlos Montenegro. Let's look at all these books he's written, all these occult satanic books. Herbal magical baths, Mexican spiritualism, spells and rituals, spiritual warfare, and we see all these occult satanic symbols. Santeria candle oils, magic mirror, the sacred Kimbada oracle of Exu, whatever that is, OAN, the secrets of Congo initiations and magic spells, the Ahe spirits, the sacred mothers of air, fire, water, and earth, novena of the divine mysteries of the most holy illuminated light. So, this guy has just written, an unbelievable amount of occult and satanic books. And I'm sure that all this was transcribed and given to him by demons. He didn't get all this knowledge on his own. No question that this man was using demons and probably summoning them to write these books, just as Aleister Crowley and many other prominent Satanists have. So I thought this was incredibly interesting. You have summoning demons and opening doorways to hell mentioned on mainstream media. And it's just a reminder, we are living in the end times. They're putting the information more and more right out there in front of your face. Just like I've mentioned in other videos, how literally they're mentioning Satan and they're mentioning the Antichrist right there out in the open on Fox News and other networks. So we're in the end times. And boy, if you've not called on Jesus Christ and looked to him to be your Lord and Savior and to save your soul, I encourage you, please do so today. Don't wait one more minute. So I've been really researching a ton on the mail, the voter, the election fraud. It is the most comprehensive criminal enterprise in the history of politics. I mean, just unbelievable. The greatest, really, election fraud in human history. I'm going to be doing several videos on that. I've just got a ton of information I'm going through on that one. So I'll be getting those videos out soon. So hope this video was a blessing to someone. You know, on all these videos, please do hit the like button if you enjoyed it, because YouTube is really censoring me, shadow banning me, and if these videos help you, please pass them to others. Hit the like button. We just want to get as much information and knowledge as we can out there to guide people to the truth and to Jesus Christ. So God bless you, and I will talk to you really soon.